just about in readiness here at Olympic Park in Melbourne on a chilly night. As Matty Orford gets us underway, the Newcastle Knights and their alternate strip defending the southern end of Olympic Park as Parsons, the captain, has the first hit up of the night. It's important for these young Knights players to get their nerves settled as quickly as possible.
Wait, no ollies.
I just wondered what Michael Hagan will do to this game plan. I would imagine he will simplify it for the Newcastle Knights. A lot of dummy half running, a lot of one-off running, just one pass, six tackles, and get a kick away very early. Make sure you get a long kick, and make sure your chasing team is in order.
They kicked very early there on tackle number 3, and the chase was very good. Enthusiastic start there from the Knights. Kicked by Badiris, and Luke Quigley was the man who was chasing. Now it's Melbourne's chance with the football, and Marcus Bye plays it 10 short of halfway. This is Dallas Johnson.
Hands off, Matt, and square.
Bye short of halfway, Parsons with the tackle. Kearns, Robinson, very strong last week against the Cowboys, being amongst the Storm's best all season. Kearns again, another hit up.
Last tackle, no early markers, play where you are.
Getting very involved early. Here's Orford kicking on the last. It's high in the air. Hall playing back on the wing despite being selected in the centres. Takes it comfortably.
Very good set by the Melbourne Storm, but also the Newcastle side. Both sides really just settling in, getting a good kick away and good chase. I'll tell you what I'm very impressed with so far with Melbourne has been their defence, especially around the ruck area, which was found wanting against the Cowboys last weekend.
Mark Braybrook, you mentioned Hall was on the wing at that particular stage. I think that they think Matty Orford will bomb them all day on those flanks, so I think that's what they've gone for that for, a person who is reliable under the high ball.
Johnson 10 short of halfway for Newcastle, tackle number 5. So where's Badiris for the kick, back near his 30, charge down, it was played up. No, it wasn't, says the referee.
Accidental offside, hand over on the 5th and last.
He's kicked it to his own teammate, I think, there. Not checking his rule. Got that rule to the Melbourne Storm.
And so did I. Interesting to see if we
play it Steve back, Matt.
Could have got a shot at that again. I thought it hit one of the Melbourne players, and that was play on.
Here come the Storm.
I think that's one of the weaknesses, though, that the Knights are going to have. They don't have a great kicker, and giving Badiris that added responsibility might just take away from his running passing game.
To there, see defender, I want you to make it all the way. Wait.
So a golden opportunity here for Melbourne early in the game. Matty Orford inside to Kearney. The pass on the outside to Robbie Ross, and there's the first try for the Melbourne Storm. They got possession from a kick from Vinny Badiris that was some question marks on it, and they've scored first, the Melbourne Storm, and they lead by 4 points to 0.
Great work there by the Storm. They really knew they had to turn their season around with a very big game here, and they have. They started well, especially in defence. But what about this pass by Steve Kearney? Absolute gem, big right arm. Now, this is the kick. I think that's gone into the Melbourne Storm player.
I thought it hit the backside of Sean Rudder.
No, I disagree. And the nice long ball here by Matt Orford turns the ball back inside, I should say, to Steve Kearney. Look at that right arm. Got around the back to Robbie Ross. It's a good start for the Melbourne Storm here tonight, Russell.
Geez, don't you like to see fullbacks run these sort of pass patterns? I reckon this is a set play. Back he comes, out comes Young. Ross is there. He knows that play is going to be on. Classy bit of play. I've got to say, though, bit of weak defence to not stop Kearney. He had 2 men on him, and he still got the pass away.
Good try there for Robbie Ross. Perfect start for the Melbourne Storm. How will Newcastle respond to this? They have a very strong breeze at their back in the first half, and Matty Orford back with the kicking duties. They've missed a goal kicker in recent weeks. He wants the 2. And so Melbourne lead by 6 points to 0. The challenge down for the Newcastle Knights. So much is written and said about Newcastle minus Andrew Johns. Well, after 4 minutes, the challenge is well and truly there.
It is too. And I'll tell you what, Melbourne Storm know that the Newcastle side want to get out of their danger zone very, very quickly. They're going to put plenty of pressure on Badiris, who's doing all their kicking. But their forwards have got to stand up a little bit more and make some more yardage before Badiris can put in a better kick.
Marcus Bye the 20-metre area only just for Melbourne. Robinson out on the left-hand side.
And 3, hands off,
tackle number 3. Sloppy's play the ball, almost facing touch as Kearney ducks the head.
Dominant.
Here's Parsons there. Dominant tackle, says the referee. Kicking early here. Melbourne. Straight down the throat there with Mark Hughes, who read it well and positioned himself well.
Release 1. Held.
5
Wait.
short of the halfway line. Paul.
2.
Over the
Let go,
halfway.
Rachel, it's
Forced
played
back
back
right
on
on it there by
okay?
Kearney.
Good.
Say Johnson.
3 release, hands off.
They get themselves settled here, Melbourne. Taking a little bit of time. Parsons charging forward. Hey, he knows.
Isn't that great work by your captain to lead by example? Take the ball forward, make some good meters for them. That's what they are lacking.
Right,
They need
Steve,
someone
at
straight
last, take
right
it, let
after
go.
who's made
Marcus
us
square.
play. They need another one going forward.
Here's Badiris with the kick, gets it away this time. Not a great one. Marcus buys there with Hall. Knocked back by Newcastle. Play on, says the referee. Badiris turns the ball back inside to Tahu. Buys there with a tackle. It's on the ground. Who wants it? Hall's got it. He's lost it forward.
And
Anyway,
over.
changeover.
10 metres in. There you are, where you are.
Melbourne
Wait,
Storm are
good.
doing a very good job, Russell, putting plenty of pressure on Badiris in that
Release
kicking.
one, hands
I've got to
off.
say though, that's
Foul.
the area you know you're going to get this Newcastle Knights. They're not sure how they're going to handle that 6 tackle. I don't know if they how much
And 2.
practice they've
Marcus
done, but when they
square,
don't
dominant.
have Johns there, they just
Wait,
don't seem to have
wait.
the necessary time to get the play working incredibly well. And I think that's going to be a problem for them.
And 3. Make the line and
30
wait.
metre line. Robinson will play the ball for the Storm, who lead by 6. Orford. Kidwell.
And 4, release.
Tackle number 4.
Good, good.
Smith kicking from acting half.
Play the ball there, mate.
Well, it bounced. It's bounced, and luckily for Gavin Coulon Babu, it bounced back to him and not to the charging Melbourne Storm defenders.
I think he thought that ball was going to go out. He probably got a scrum here. Oh, good play there by the Newcastle side. Well, these young guys are willing to throw the ball around. The Newcastle side have always come up with a lot more mistakes, but they are willing to chance their arm.
3, release.
They certainly are inside their own territory. Towards the halfway line, Price will play it. Clint Newton playing his first game for the season and a game back in the Premier League. Of course, of the injury crisis for Newcastle. Penalty, first of the night.
Moving too early. You're a foot in front to start with, boys. I'm not going to always be able to give you a call, okay?
We're talking about Clint Newton. He had a full reconstruction on that ankle of his. You said he played last week. Had a pretty good game. And the injuries that they have, that thrust us straight in the first round.
Here he is with the football. Taken there from Badiris. Quickly acting half. So used to seeing Badiris in there. It's not unlike Badiris in stature. As Parsons has a charge and is brought down just a couple of metres out from the goal line. Here's Badiris. Rudder dumbing inside, going out. Good ball. Tahu. The pass to Hall. Can he beat Marcus by? Somehow he stays in the field of play. Held up. Was he over the goal line?
Yep. Marcus, work on the 10 with the touchies. He's talking to you, okay?
Great short play there once again
Can we
by
get
the
the
Newcastle
sound here,
side.
guy, next stoppage?
Here's the tackle. As he held up, Kitso does a good job. Great tackle there, Marcus by. We're talking about all the good things that he does in his game, his running game, scoring tries, but what about his defence? That's all is needed.
Second row. Fine.
Another chance here for the Knights. Rudder, 20 out, stepping, past Guy. Good cover there from the second row and lock forward. Robinson and Johnson, 10 out from the line. They come left through Badiris. Where's the runners? Newton back towards the centre of the ruck. Ball out the back, it comes to Rudder. They keep it alive. Quinn did well to regather and beat one. He goes for the corner, but Junior Lady well, letting pass Slater's there as well. Here's Gidley. He offloads. And Abraham there is tackled. A couple of metres out from the line. Quigley. Here it comes to Badiris. Having to wait for a Hughes. Tries to push away from the defence and can't do so. Right in front of the goal post. They come left, the Knights. Rudder turns it inside. Jobson has no way through. Last tackle here for Newcastle. What's the option going to be this time? Badiris has it. Little grubber. It's on the ground. Who wants it? Kearney's got it.
And those little bits and pieces of the game that Andrew Johns adds to this Newcastle side with a little kick. He probably would have got them a repeat set of 6. But I tell you what, I'm very impressed with what these young guys are going for Newcastle. He's battles away from Melbourne.
Good run there from the centre, just to ease the pressure a bit for the Melbourne Storm. And a bit of defending in their own 20-metre area. I'll be pleased to see the football again. Here's Kearns. Taken to ground by Newton, a couple of his teammates. And then Jobson now. It comes from Cameron Smith to Stephen Kearney. Some easier metres there for the Melbourne Storm as they get up near the halfway line. Tackle number 5, Orford with the kick. It's away from Hughes and Hall. Finally a nice bounce there for Mark Hughes. He links up with Hall, who beat the tackle of Orford. And there's a penalty, Johnson.
Hey, hold the legs.
I think he felt he had to because Orford had missed the tackle. He gave away the penalty. As they find touch, the Storm. Just over the halfway line. Parsons. Newcastle in possession. Another penalty.
You are holding him down.
Steve Kearney disagreeing with that penalty there, saying that he's probably just trying to help Big Matty Parsons up because he's got that sore back as he's going in for that operation, but he's doing a mountain of work, the big front row and the captain of the side.
Good offload there from Newton, I think it was, back to Badiris. Now it comes to Rudder. He throws a long ball to Mana Tahu.
Release.
Good tackle there from Stephen Bell. Hall. He's lost it. Was it knocked out? Went backwards anyway. Not played out, it says the referee. Comes back to Tahu. And Marcus Bai comes in again to make the tackle with Kidwell. That's the 10-metre line he's playing it on. Badiris. Will they convert this pressure into points? The Newcastle Knights. As Clint Newton is tackled right in centre field. 10 out from the goal line. Badiris out of acting half. Where's the runners? Goes himself. Had Price with him. Took the tackle on the last. Now what's the option on tackle number 5? Back to Sean Rudder. He's going to be the kicker across field. Not a great run and straight in the hands of Orford. He's away. There's no one at home. Who has the pace to catch him? He's over the halfway line. That was to Billy Slater. And he's away. They won't catch him. And Billy Slater scores try number 7. The Melbourne Storm are gone from one end of the field to the other, courtesy of a Sean Rudder kick, and Billy Slater scores another. Melbourne 10, Newcastle 0 with a kick to come.
It all comes back to that kicking. Once again, it has let them down so far in the opening probably 10 minutes of this game. Newcastle standing back. He needed to go forward to put the little kick in. He did it. And then he comes up with a bad tackle. There's Rudder on Orford. Orford knows he hasn't got the legs to go. He's got to get the ball out to Slater. And he runs around about 35 to 38 metres out. He scores a very good Melbourne try. Russell?
Yes,
Mr. Bellamy will be very happy.
Take nothing away from the Melbourne Storm, but that would be a kick that Johns wouldn't have mucked up. They wouldn't have been in this position. I can't believe Badiris let himself get caught on the 5th tackle, so they had no playmaker. It's not his fault. Billy Slater took advantage of it, pushed Orford through, then backed him up, and then went about 75 metres. And the man's just growing and growing. Cult hero status down here in Melbourne these days, Billy Slater.
7 tries for the season, as I mentioned before. He and Craig Hall, the leading try scorers for their respective clubs. And when you consider this is their first season in first grade, it's an outstanding achievement. He can run, and Matt Orford did very well to position him. But what effect will this have on the Newcastle Knights? They're down by 10. Orford's got the conversion attempt. Time has been signalled off, thankfully, as he's taking his time. But they do have a very strong breeze at the back also, the Newcastle Knights.
Well, the Knights haven't played bad. It's just those little things at the end of the sets of 6. It's getting a set of 6 again. It's making sure you get the kick over the try line. Those are the little things that's just letting them down at the moment. Michael Hagan will get them at half-time and he'll talk about this sort of stuff. I don't think it'll have an effect on them, but they do need to score in this first half with a big breeze at their back.
Here's Orford. The flags are really fluttering here at Olympic Park as Orford. Time back on, says the referee. From 12 out, to the left, to the post. Little trouble, 2 from 2 from Matty Orford. So the Melbourne Storm have gone 90 metres to make it 12 points to 0. They've only had 13 minutes of play. Danger signs here for the Newcastle Knights, but on the positive, they have got down to the other end of the field. Put the Melbourne Storm under a bit of pressure, who've defended well.
Yeah, they certainly have done that. One thing that Russell did say about Danny Badiris getting caught and they play the ball. I think a message has gone out from the coach, Michael Hagan, to tell Danny Badiris to get in and start running the ball out of the ruck area. He has made good runs and made plenty of metres down here so far. It just means that young Quigley, the number 9, will let the slot in it. the number 7 jersey.
Marcus by over the 30-metre line. Cameron Smith at acting half, cuts out Johnson, finds Kearney. And Storm fans wanting a penalty for inside the 10. They haven't had a penalty tonight so far. 3-0 the count. Another one. Very vocal home crowd, and their side's leading by 12. Here's Orford kicking on the last. Hughes watching it bounce. Penalty hit late, says the referee. Right in front.
Attacking the non-kicking leg of the kicker. No. There it is. Yep.
Well, that was interesting to know that he said he attacked the... Well, there's no way in the world he attacked the leg of the player there. No way in the world. And what it'd be worse if we went up high and attacked him in the head. Russell?
Well, we've seen that happen many years ago. They had players, I think Ronnie Gibbs from Manly was the first player to bring this in. He used to try and knock down, hit the kicking leg. And I don't know, you may cause some injury. Here it is again, look. I don't think he's going for the leg. I think he's going for the man. There's no two ways, but maybe if he'd have said this is a penalty for a late tackle, I could have lived with that, but I don't think he was attacking the leg of the player kicking the football. But it was first brought into vogue by Ron Gibbs many, many years ago, back in the 80s, when he played with the Manly club. And it was clamped down on then, and referee Matt Checken doing the same tonight.
The bottom line is, you would suggest that it's 2 points here for Melbourne, because he's right in front, 20 metres out, Matt Orford. It's funny how these calls go against you when you're just struggling a little bit, as the Knights are, and he's hooked that just inside the left-hand upright. And so the Melbourne Storm lead by 14 after 15. It's Melbourne 14, Newcastle 0. Just repeating, they are running into a very strong breeze, the Melbourne Storm.
That's one of the things that the Melbourne Storm have done so well too. They've had 7 sets, 6 so far, and completed 7. Newcastle side have had 9 sets and completed 7. That's not too bad, but the only thing, as we've talked about so far in the opening half of this game, is their kicking game has probably been pretty poor.
The strength of Melbourne so far this season has been in their offloads. With Stephen Kearney there and Kearns, they lead the NRL in that aspect. It's a deep kick down to Marcus By. And the first try of the night came from a great offload from Stephen Kearney.
Release now. Oh, another step. Right.
They're desperate for a penalty, the Storm crowd. Kidwell driving defence there from Newcastle on this occasion. Johnson puts the head down.
Make it every tackle and wait till it's played. You're moving early. Now wait.
Orford. Robinson. Didn't lose the ball. The referee says it's okay. Newcastle have come up with it.
Held. 1. Dominant.
What can they do on this occasion?
Wait.
Quinn.
2. Release now. Roll away.
Junior Lange in there with Smith to make the tackle. That's the 30-metre line. Here's Parsons launching himself into the defence.
Hold.
Gadiris turning it inside to Jobson. He's lost the football.
Both ways. Lost it into a spot.
Robin Kearns getting the congratulations of teammates there.
Yeah, a bit of backslapping and high-fiving, and I think rightfully so. I've got to say this Melbourne Storm have their defensive line in very good order, and I think what is allowing them to do that is they are just controlling the speed of the play of the ball. Just to the limit. When Matt Checken checks and the referee says get off, they get off, but they're holding them down just enough.
Is he injured? No, go. Is it you talking or yeah? Unless he's down, mate, you've got to take him out the back.
It's Dallas Johnson, shoulder injury, I believe.
Thanks, trainer. Thanks, trainer. Stay in, boys. Out.
So Melbourne through Guy.
Newcastle make it.
I mentioned earlier that Dallas Johnson got up slowly from the tackle. So he may have injured his shoulder.
Good release.
That's a good run from Robinson. Now Lange.
3. Hands off. Wait.
Orford. Runners on the inside. Slater. Not sure that he was expecting it that early. He was looking for the inside ball. Surprised him a little bit. Play the ball. Cameron Smith running from acting half, trying to catch the defence, napping quickly with the tackle. Halfway line, he'll play it on penalty. First of enough for the
You
Storm.
roll back over the top instead of rolling up and standing square.
On the last tackle too.
Rolling back over.
The Newcastle side certainly didn't want that. Come up here with the tackle on Cameron Smith. It's Quigley. And he's saying to the player, you've got to roll away from the man being tackled. You can't roll over the top and try and set yourself.
Here's Kearns. Good solid run. Quigley with a good tackle. More points here would be disastrous for the Storm. Kick. Guy chasing. Should be too deep.
That was a jag. Anything?
Smallish in-goal areas here for Melbourne. Make it necessary for a pinpoint kick. Just had too much on it.
No, wasn't it great vision, though, to see that the fullback was right across here on the right-hand side. Put the little kick over the top. Just a little bit too heavy, but I tell you, watch out for that, because I reckon they'll reintroduce that later in the game.
Two. Release now. Hold.
Checking barking instructions. It's a half break made there by Andrew Price, just stumbling as he got through. Parsons now goes over the halfway line. Johnson with the tackle, seems to have recovered. Now Badira's kicking early. He's kept this straight down the throat of Robbie Ross. He wasn't happy the moment he kicked at Danny Badiris, and he leads the chase down and comes up with a good tackle. Slater trying on the outside of his man, Langy. Stepping back in field, back to Billy Slater, away from Quinn. Slater comes back inside and Quinn wraps him up.
How quick is he off the mark? He was like lightning.
Robinson, good charge. Halfway line he plays it on. Like to see the first change for the Melbourne Storm as Kearney takes it forward.
Let go now.
Here's Orford, looking for runners inside to Johnson. Rudder with the tackle.
And last
Tackle here for Melbourne. Cameron Smith out of acting half, kicking high. Hughes is back there. Here comes Geyer. Took it well with a little bit of protection there from Gavin Quinn. And the chase was completed by Langy. Here's the first change of the night. Parsons off. Matthew Kennedy is on. There's a good tackle being made by Kearns again. Solid defence, dominant tackle, says the referee. Badiris kicking from his own 30. It's a wobbly one off the boot. Awkward bounce for Robbie Ross, but now it's nice. Good chase though from Newcastle.
I think what they might have to do with their kicking game is actually probably go 2 passes wide and pick up Danny Badiris a little bit wide to bring up the defence of the Melbourne Storm, because the Melbourne Storm are getting plenty of ball and only have about 15 to 20 metres out of the red zone of the Newcastle side.
There's Orford. Turns the ball back inside to Kirk Reynoldsson. Solid tackle, the groan of the crowd. Newton was in there with Quigley. Here's Orford, running at the gap. He's lost it forward. Kicked over the head by Slater. Referee just waiting to see whether it goes dead.
Well, the Storm are just starting to open up, play a little bit more expansive game. I've got to say, looking at this Newcastle Knights side, they look like they're a little bit tired. Look like maybe there's a lot of tension being expelled, and that sort of takes away plenty of energy. And the fact that they've had to travel down here, that's going to hurt them as well. So I just think they're feeling a little bit on this heavy ground right now. And the Storm, gee, they're just full of running.
Matt now. Hold.
It's Tahu. They still have some class players there, Melbourne, when you look at Hughes, Tahu, Gidley, Rudder, Badiris. So you can never discount them.
Well, that's where you need these top quality players to stand up and do the little things that are a little bit extra that the other younger players we're looking for them to do.
Players like Daniel Abraham and Clinton Newton, who've established themselves as first graders, and need to take on that extra responsibility. Last tackle.
Marcus White.
They come left. Here's Badiris. They're going to run it. Hall. Marcus By there with the tackle. Back to Bell. There's something different there on the last, but Marcus By, an experienced player.
Look, I don't think Michael Hagan would be upset with that sort of play. I think it was a great little play to try and get down that short side. Robbie Ross was in perfect position, but once again, the Melbourne side, Russell, they're getting out of their own half pretty easy because they're only about another 10 metres short again.
Kearns up to the halfway line. The Melbourne chant goes up from the faithful as it comes to Robbie Ross. Running across field before being tackled on the last.
Wait, Marcus.
Matthew Gidley, the defender. Tackle number 5, Orford, kicking. Being held up there in the strong breeze. Straight there to Craig Hall.
Focus, boys.
Tackle
That's
made
one.
by Bell and also Marcus by Tahu. Floating to Hughes.
And 2, make the line and wait.
10 short of the halfway line. 14 points to 0.
Wait.
Melbourne over the Newcastle Knights. 16 out from half time.
3, let go. Wait till it's played, boys. Good work.
Here's Badiris. Finding support there from
Oh,
Jobson.
hands off.
Just over the halfway line by about a metre. Newton at acting half. Running from there.
Last
No way
tackle, we
through
held it.
as the Storm defence comes in numbers. Sort of kick this time from Badiris. Looking for a spiral bomb. It goes to By. Will it dip on him? It did. But he had it well covered, Marcus. And offloads there to Robbie Ross as they look for a gap and there's none
Hands
there.
off. Sangy's
And
out.
that's what they've got to fix up. Garris doing the kicking, one off the ruck, and Melbourne Storm getting up very quickly, put plenty of pressure on them. They'll still maintain they've got to.
No. Dominant tackle. You've tried to play it way too quick. Lost the ball.
Still maintain, Russell. They've got to go 2 passes wide to put the pressure on the Melbourne
Yes, mate.
defenders out wider.
Well, they're fairly predictable right now. The Storm attack, I mean, the Knights attack
Please use the foot when you play the ball as well, okay?
has been fairly predictable.
Yeah, mate.
As we take a look
Just
at
try and make it tough.
what actually happened then, called it a dominant tackle, but
Seconds in. Lock.
it could have gone either way.
Stay in. Out.
Will it lead to Newcastle's first points of the
Oh,
night
let go now.
as Tamana Tahu is tackled about 15 out from the line. Here goes Hall.
And 2, Marcus.
Bell with a tackle. They're inside the 10 as Craig Hall will play it. Quigley, not sure whether he was looking for someone or had the intention of throwing the dummy. Badiris, now Rudder. Here they go. There's the lost ball again, and this time it was Matt Gidley. Had Hughes on his outside. Not sure what his intention was, but the defence had him covered.
Yeah, I just think that he's just trying to get the ball back away with that right arm to try and flick it up to the inside man, and Hughes, who didn't come off. But there's some enterprising play there from Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Well, they had the numbers 3 on 2 out there. All they needed to straighten the play and would have put man on man. The final man would have been the overlap, and that was a 4-pointer.
Kearney being forced back into defence. Gidley and Rudder in there. Just feel for their confidence. The Storm need to get some points on the board next time they're down, at least before half-time. They've had plenty of opportunities, but haven't been able to convert as Reynoldson. He's up over the 30 by about 5 metres. Kidwell off. Mitchell Sargent on for Melbourne. Hughes is going to let this bounce. Has Hall with him. There's 4 chases there for the Melbourne Storm.
Oh, fellas.
Maybe if Hughes was able to just link up on the outside with Gidley, there was half a chance there for Newcastle. This is Gidley. Oh, that was an ordinary pass. And there was no way that Tamana Tahu was able to reel that in. And this could be a costly mistake.
Yeah, that's where you need your senior players just to settle things down. The pass wasn't needed to be given. Just couldn't take it there. Tamana Tahu off Matthew Gidley, but the senior players are going to take more responsibility. Try and keep these young guys' heads level. Scores only 14 points to 0 so far. There's 40 minutes, just under 40 minutes to go in this first half, so they're certainly not out of this game.
Can't imagine they can afford to let another try be scored against them before the break, though. And that's what the Storm will be looking for as Langy runs across field. The tackle there of Newton, and also Abraham. Shook Langy up in the tackle a little bit there. Mitchell Sargent plays it. Orford cuts out Kearney to Ross. Back it comes to Orford, keeping it alive to Marcus by Hall has gone in. Can he stop Marcus? He does, and the cover comes across. Tamana Tahu cleaning him up. Here's Orford. Kearney cut out again. Geyer kicking this time. It's off legs. Was it played out? It was, says the referee. Geyer gets it back. I thought he had his back turned when the kick was made.
I agree with you, Mark. Sargent goes forward now for the Melbourne side.
A couple of metres short of the goal line. Here's an opportunity for Kearns. Can he get his arms free? No. Only a metre out from the line. Held up in goal this time as Robinson. Is he over the line? No, that's not over the four, says the referee.
Newcastle need to get up the line very quickly and force Orford back down the centre.
That was four, wasn't it?
There's Orford. Kearney, yawning gap try to Stephen Kearney. It came from the pass from Matty Orford. There is a yawning gap in the middle of the ruck, under the ruck dot, 18-0 with a kick to come.
While the Newcastle defence was found wanting on the edge of the ruck, which allowed Steve Kearney to run into a big hole. I did say they had to put pressure on Orford. That meant the men on the outside had to try and push him back in. But the inside men, once again, they get the ball back. Well, I don't know how he said that was play on. He actually turned sideways and hit his leg. That should have been a handover. Well, it's not to be. They got another 4-pointer. And look at just the defenders going in and some defenders staying out. Quickly was the man who went in on Orford, which created that big hole for Kearney to run through.
You did right. And when there's 8 defensive players around to play the ball, that's what there was. There was 8 defensive players there. There's got to be a hole somewhere else in the paddock. Orford takes it to the line. He hits a nice flat ball. He runs a little bit of an angle back on the edge and goes down and dots down just about underneath the post. This will be 20 points, no doubt about that.
Yeah, Checkin's having a few problems at the moment with his audio gear, I would suggest, as Stephen Kearney comes back to halfway line. Second time in this game that he's had to change his shirt, or at least take it off to get fixed up. Problem with the microphone.
Hang on, mate.
Right in front is kick for Orford. Find that funny, there you go.
He might like taking his shirt off.
Down in Melbourne. I wouldn't have thought so. Townsville, yes. He has made a difference though, Matty Orford coming back tonight. They have missed his direction around the park. Having said that, the forwards have played well tonight for Melbourne, led by Robbie Kearns. And Peter Robinson again, and Orford from right in front. Adds the 2. An imposing scoreline. We're not even at half-time yet at Olympic Park. Melbourne 20, Newcastle 0. A couple of changes. Blake Mueller making his first grade debut for Newcastle. Regan Tanner also coming on the field. It's a long way back now for the Newcastle Knights.
It is hard, isn't it, Russell, when you're a young guy being thrown into the deep end against the Melbourne side and got so much experience, especially around the ruck here in that forward pack. The young guys, you can last them for a short while, but then the emotion takes over and the pressure. You just make one bad error in this sort of game and you get a try scored against you.
Clint Newton and Andrew Price having a rest for Newcastle to allow Tanner and Mueller on. Sargent plays it. Penalty.
1-2. I've been speaking to you all day. I can't keep doing it. Both of you. Number 7 and you.
Sean Rudder being penalised there.
We know that Sean Rudder had tonsillitis during the week and was lucky to probably play in this game. He's done his best to get out there and try and lift the spirits of these young Newcastle Knights.
Make it.
That man we just saw on screen, Matt Parsons, injected back into the game very shortly.
Kearns offload back to Robbie Ross. He keeps it alive to Slater.
And 2.
Tackle made there by the number 13, Daniel Abraham from Newcastle. Reynoldsson up to the 30-metre line. Smith looking for runners, finds one there in Danny Williams. Up to the 20. Will they go in again here, Melbourne? Orford, Kearney was on his inside, so too Ross. Williams juggling, almost lost it backwards. 15 out, right in front. Lucky not to give away a penalty. Now Guy up with the kick. Here comes Robbie Ross, he's lost it forward.
And it's 0.
And that's tackle 0 for Newcastle, but danger there. The Knights just hanging on at the moment. 20-0 is an enormous task to reel in, but 26-0 would be just about impossible.
Yeah, it certainly would be if they let them score, but look how quick that the Melbourne side are getting off their line. When the Newcastle side are only running one off, they are setting their line and flying up at them, and there's a penalty.
It's got to touch the foot, not when it hits the deck. You're moving as soon as the ball hits the deck. It's got to be played.
I heard the reasoning from Matt Checkin. Don't think the Knights weren't pleased to hear that whistle blow.
Matty, look, Matty, look.
We're up to halfway with this run. And Matthew Kennedy is going to ball.
Good defence.
That's Mitchell Sargent and Danny Williams. Tanner.
Drop that ball.
Lost it. Have ball control. Let me control it.
Well, some coach killer stuff happening out there by the Newcastle Knights right now as we wind down to this first 40 minutes of football. Desperate to get on the scoreboard, the Newcastle Knights, and they're maybe going to force this pass a little bit more. And the confidence of the Melbourne Storm could skyrocket should they get another try just before the break. Desperate stations for the Knights. They must score.
Bend outside, prop bend. Good. Sorry, mate.
Cameron Smith kicking early. Billy Slater was offside. Not sure about Langy. He may win the race for the ball, though. Badiris is back there and does well. Billy Slater had to stay out of it. I think that's who the kick was for, but he overran the kicker.
Well, the kick wasn't wide enough. It went straight down the centre of the field. It should have gone to the far corner. If it goes to the far corner and Billy Slater's onside, he wins the race easy.
Maybe Cameron Smith knew that he was offside and changed his direction of the kick. But you could see that Billy Slater was desperate to get down there.
He certainly was. He was offside by about probably a metre or so. And that's why he had to stay out of it.
Can Newcastle put some points on just before
40-20, kick is clear.
6.5 to go. Well done,
Great sake, Robbie Ross. That's tremendous effort. And here goes Marcus by. Doesn't he make sure you have to tackle him?
Should get 3 tackles on the stats for tackling Marcus. Billy Slater bouncing away from the defence. Danny Badiris in there. Kearns charging forward.
Next time,
Been
play the
very
ball,
good
keep it
tonight
quiet.
for Melbourne.
Hold.
Sargent over the halfway line.
It's so hard for any side that loses 1 or 2 players, but when you count out the amount of players that are missing out of this Newcastle side, a total of 8 players, 5 of them internationals, it is so hard to replace, and a lot of these young guys will be looking up to those guys and be rather playing with it and not taking their spots.
Here's a kick for Slater again. How's the bounce going to go? It bounces nicely for Newcastle as Quinn brings it back.
Held one.
Coming up to the 5-minute mark left in the first half.
And 2, let go.
This is the part of the game where tries are scored nearly on a regular basis. Will it be Newcastle? Will it be Melbourne? Quigley, he was going to pass out the back to Badiris. He runs from acting half. Finds Abraham over the 40. Last tackle here. Badiris for the kick. Time this time off the side of the boot. We're in front of the kicker, and Robbie Ross has it covered. Langy.
And 1, hands off now.
28 out from his own line.
You're offside, no?
Slater. Quickly called offside there by the referee and made the tackle.
You're offside. We're going to get that one. Come here, Matt. We're going to get one now, mate. I'm working. They're not even looking. Stand up when I'm talking to you, please. Stand up. I'm over the driver. They've got to get back and they've got to hold, okay? All dummy half running there.
Oh, very, very close. You can just see where Matt Checkin's standing now. He's actually walked back about a metre and a half to the line, then given the penalty.
Hold.
Orford finds Sargent. Good tackle there by Tanner.
Hands off. Hold.
Williams, Kearney.
Let go of that ball, that's 2.
They must hang on here, Newcastle, if they are any chance in this game. Reynoldsson.
3, hands off, they go the leg.
Tackle number 3. Geyer. Kearney back on the inside. Still going Stephen Kearney looking for a double, had the arms free. Cameron Smith was there, he couldn't get it away. Here's Geyer. Orford out wide, Robbie Ross. Was that off a hand? I think it may have been. Off Newcastle.
It was. Hang on, Steve. Settle down. Was it played at? Played at. Get the ball up.
The referee signalling
Played at, mate. He was right there.
Gavin Quinn was the man. I think he just gets his right hand to it. They're having all sorts of problems over there in that right hand defence for the Newcastle side. They seem to be missing players. They get caught up around the middle of the ruck. The Orford gets there, 2 long passes, and it catches them out all the time.
Dyer. Offloading back to Robbie Ross. Marcus Boy will be hard to stop from here. Hall does very well. Rudder came across to assist, but Marcus scores a lot from there. Williams inside to Reynoldson.
Two there, release.
They're about 5 metres out from the line, the Storm. Penalty.
There's the mark.
Quick tap, Smith Kearns. Charges forward quickly there with the tackle. Parsons comes in to assist as well. So too Blake Mueller.
They've got to go left here, Melbourne.
They go that way to Orford. Kearney, danger here. Guy on the ground, couldn't take it. Went backwards. Langy now has it. Beats the tackle there at the dearest. Pops it out to Robbie Ross. He finds Orford. Orford stepping, weaving, bouncing back to Smith. Now it comes to Danny Williams. He goes forward, has the arm free that kicks the ball. They're 5 out from the line. Billy Slater acting half. Now Orford, cut out ball, beautiful ball to Bell, and Matt Orford has a hand in the net. Stephen Bell scores the try, and is it too far for Newcastle to come back now? 24-0, just short of half-time.
Mate, I think it is too far for them. All they can do is hold their heads up high and just keep on plugging away for the next 40-odd minutes. But what about this? Matt Orford gets himself involved again, goes nice one, throws a nice long pass to Mana Tahu. He thought he was going to go for the intercept. The pass just beat him, Russell. That's a great try to Bell.
The pressure decided to tell, and here it was, a fantastic pass from Orford. Beat two in the cutout, but I've got to say, further back, Craig Hall has slipped over as well. There is their number 4 on the screen, just went by him. But I don't think they would have stopped the try. Bell ran into a hole as big as the Sydney Harbour. Straight through it, no doubt he was going to score. Can they make it a perfect first half of football? Well, just this kick to go over, and it will be.
Is the siren going in the background? I'm sure it was. Or was it a train going past Olympic Park? It's interesting. Matt Orford with the conversion attempt. I'd suggest that maybe the timekeeper didn't signal time off when Matt Checken had signalled time off for that kick of Orford's goal. 20 metres out. About 8 in from touch. He struck it pretty well. Has it got the legs just shaving the left hand upright? So half-time here at Olympic Park. It's the Melbourne Storm 24, leading the Newcastle Knights 0.
It's been a tremendous half of football from Melbourne, hasn't it? Tremendous work by their forward pack, and then this little man on field has really directed the play around for the Melbourne side. That's why they're in front, 24 points to 0.
Stay behind.
Check it. Says time on. Newcastle running left to right, defending the northern end of the ground. And the Melbourne Storm have first use of the football through Marcus Bai.
I guess we'll get a fair indication of just where the Newcastle Knights are going to be in this second half, whether they're going to make a challenge to this game or not. The first 5 minutes will really tell us what their defence is like and what their purpose is when they get the football in their hand. But these first couple of tackles, well, doesn't look all that good for them. They're making the tackles, but there's no dominance.
Kearney stepping straight through. Akama came across and got him in rudder. Luckily for Newcastle, he was there. Danny Williams. Ominous signs here for Newcastle. Melbourne getting the ball down the field comfortably. Kearney dangerous. Cameron Smith kicking from acting half. Nice bounce though for Mark Hughes. Wall of defenders in front of him.
And that's what Craig Bellamy would want it from his Melbourne side from the first set. Great work. Gone around about 80 to 90 metres.
Get out of that playable area.
Solid charge as
Dominant
Reynolds, I should say Sargent, forcing the tackler back. Mueller now is Parsons popping it back to Mueller. Price. Solid tackle.
What a good defensive set for the Storm. They've only conceded about 35 metres.
Robbie Ross returning the football. Was that off a Newcastle hand? Was it played at?
Wasn't played at, was it, Spud? Wasn't played at.
The referee said no, it wasn't, and so Newcastle will get the loosened feed.
Well, he certainly didn't play at the football. He made a play at the tackle. Here we go. Not even looking at the ball. His head's behind. Seconds, his back.
Get in. Seconds.
That's the second time Gibby's been pegged.
Stay in. Out.
Rudder. Tahu trying to get on the outside of Bell, couldn't do so. Gidley, flick out the back, Badiris. Danny Williams is there to make the tackle with Reynoldsson. Parsons, straight and hard, nice offload, back to Quigley.
3 there, let go now. Dominant. Hold.
Badiris, good tackle, Bryce. Regan Tanner, the man that went to ground. Here's Mueller. Kearney with the tackle and Kearns as well. This is the last for Newcastle. Comes to Rudder. He puts it in the air this time. Billy Slater's back there. Leaping high was Quinn. Ball's on the ground.
20 metres.
Taken there by Robbie Ross.
I think if I referee second saw a knock on by Tamana Tahu when he went for the ball. But they get for the 22 for the 20 restart. Again, Melbourne Storm. Well, gee, they let the Knights get out of their own territory fairly easy last set of 6, and they'll be looking to change that. Good set of 6, a kick away, and maintain them in their own half. That'll be what they'll be looking for.
Hold.
5 short of halfway.
Let go sooner.
Here come the Melbourne Storm.
Let go
Kearns.
now.
Smith out of acting half. Reynoldsson. Mueller with the tackle. Tanner coming into assist. Last tackle here for Melbourne. Continue the play right. Orford there. High kick. Hughes underneath it. Here comes Geyer. And Hughes took it well. Slater there to make the tackle also.
I tell you, that's a great tack there by Hughes. He knew that Geyer was absolutely flying through to put pressure on him. That's bravery from the fullback from the Newcastle side.
But in saying that, Gary, all he had to do was jump 1 foot in the air, and he would not have been able to be tackled. So he should have used his head a little bit. Why not catch the ball in the air, and he can't get a tackle made on him?
Let go of the
I
ball
suppose he was just happy to catch the ball. And so with his coach would have been happy.
They had plenty of time. There was no drama for him there.
Oh, Matt Parson, how well is he playing?
Badiris running on the last. Too many players in too short a space. Gidley was waiting for the kick. That's the changeover.
10 metres in where you are.
A little bit disappointing, really. Really not gelling at all. Badiris, errors. Melbourne 4, Newcastle 9. Now, Melbourne certainly have got them in the right spot. Once again to start attacking.
Hold. Let go. Another step, you're offside. You want a penalties? Made the 10, made the 10.
Williams, over the 30. Good run there from the interchange forward. The crowd right behind the Storm. Guy, solid tackle.
Good hit.
Regan Tanner putting Matty Geyer on his backside. Here's Orford across field. Kearney now linking up Robbie Ross. Tackle made from behind. It had to be made too, and it was Gidley. Here's the kick from Smith. Touch and goal. Was it touched? No, it wasn't. Thought for a moment that Gavin Quinn may have got a fingertip to it.
Yeah, well, I thought he may have just touched the ball myself. The referee was in great position. He said no, he didn't. Play on, but look at Steve Kearney once again on this left-hand side, tricking up Robbie Ross. Robbie Ross knows who to back up at this team.
Hands off.
Tamana Tahu. This is Mueller. Back the half. Within gets the tackle, 10 short of halfway. Badiris. Gidley. Great ball to Gavin Quinn down the touchline. Here comes the cover. Great tackle from Cameron Smith. Did he go into touch? No. Who's got the ball? Who wants it?
Melbourne ball, Melbourne ball.
Melbourne, says the referee.
Gavin Quinn should have just tried a little bit harder to make sure that he stayed on the field of play. Once again, Matthew Gidley, tremendous passes, but now Marcus Bryant takes up, gets around about 38 metres off his own try line.
Matt, be careful of the flops.
Geyer. Back inside to Reynoldsson, away from one, not from another. Quigley making the tackle right on the halfway line. Geyer, Sargent's there, takes the hit up. Out on the 40-metre line. Here's Orford kicking on the last, looking for the corner. Ball goes back and takes it, and then loses it.
Well, you feel sorry for him, Hall. He's had a tremendous season so far. little bit unlucky there. Should have probably taken that catch. And when the pressure's on, Russell, you do come up with mistakes. And that certainly won't help the Newcastle side out.
He could have positioned himself a little bit better here. Should have taken it high, should have let it come into his body, wrap the arms around it, just try to snatch at it just a little bit, should let the ball come to him. Delighted bench, Bidwell applauding, Stephen Kearney there watching on.
Wait, out!
Dyer. What do they have in store here? Here's Billy Slater. Bell went inside. Slater went out. Gidley made the tackle. Still making the tackle. Now it's held.
Let go!
Robinson. Solid defence again. Gidley involved. Also Blake Mueller. Dyer coming the short side, laying it. They are very quickly there. Gavin Quinn made the tackle. Dyer. Kearns. Spinning in the defence. Regan Tanner with the tackle. Orford looking for runners. Ross, quick hands. Chance for Bell. He goes for the line. Can he get the pass away? No, great defence. Badiris was over there with Hall. Quick play the ball. It comes to Orford on the last. Crossfield kick for Langy. Quinn's under it and takes it well.
Release.
Oh, tremendous play there. One from Melbourne first on that right-hand side. And great tackle by Badiris and Hall. But what about Matt Orford's little chip over the top, and Quinn can save the day for Newcastle. Now they've got to work it out hard. They need to get some forwards in to do some hard runs up the middle of the run.
3. Clear.
Going wide, pressure.
It's okay.
Sean Rudder. Ball went through his hands. Play on, says the referee. So Tanner gets up and goes again. Bell with the tackle. Here's Parsons. Robbie Kearns comes to him. Tried to get the ball away. Did he lose it? I think he may have. He has.
Come on, work.
Just tried to throw the impossible pass and is given possession to Melbourne.
Release.
They're going to be their own worst enemy, the Newcastle Knights. They're going to try and play catch-up football, and when you do that, well, things like that happen.
2. Make it. Come on, work.
He's lost that. Cameron Smith.
Come on.
You look like a hand for me, Gary. What about you?
The Newcastle players are saying that he dropped the ball. See that there's plenty of hands in there. Russell. He gets up. Maybe the right hand of Danny Badiris. Probably for a Melbourne supporter, they would have said it was his hand. The Newcastle supporter would have said it was accidental.
Out! Sorry, mate.
Tahu. Oh, he fell awkwardly.
Hold. No
I think he's hurt his ankle. That's all they need, Newcastle, to lose Tamana Tahu. He's up and limping. There's some great defence again from Melbourne. Quickly out of acting half. He's taken out after he passed the ball. The referee says it was all right. Here they come, Newcastle. Badiris. Back to Gidley. Straightening. Gidley flick almost came out the back last tackle. Badiris. Sort of a kick, is it? Straight down the throat of Billy Slater. Dumming to Robbie Ross, running across. No one there to pass to, so the defence has him covered. Tamana Tahu still struggling to get back in position on the far side of the field. Robbie Ross takes it up the middle of the run.
2.
A little bit of ad-lib football there.
Robinson.
Hands away.
Danny Williams. Out of acting half, pushes Quinn away, I should say. Now it comes from Smith to Kearns. And he's tackled just short of the halfway line. Orford now kicking inside his 40. Over towards the touchline, but bouncing away from it. Hughes has it.
So we know Matt Parsons is certainly going to go for an operation come this Monday morning, but I tell you what, the captain of the day, he's made 19 tackles and 10 hit-ups so far. Really leading by example.
Tamana Tahu back in position, still a little bit ginger on that ankle. Here's Parsons, the man that Freeman was just talking about.
Last tackle, hands off.
Another hit up for him. Last tackle, Badiris. Lovely old kick off the boot, but bounces nicely for Robbie Ross. And Matty Parsons in back play is really struggling with that back problem. From the Storm fullback.
I think of the way the game is travelling here for the Newcastle side. You've got to see Badiris pop over a little short kick and try to get his runners through to put some pressure on Robbie Ross, who is very, very deep.
I'm with you, Gary. I'd like to see Badiris go to the line a little bit more. He's passing way before the line. He needs to bring the defence onto himself a little bit, create holes out wide, and he's not doing that.
Well, that usually happens to him when he's playing hooker, doesn't it? And then when you go to a halfback role, you even got to go closer and closer.
That's right.
Up to the 30, 6 interchanges left for both sides as Robinson runs under a pass from Orford. And Gidley was waiting for him.
Watch for Hall on that right side. He'll have some pressure on him right now.
Here's the kick from Orford. Here's the chase from the Melbourne Storm. Hughes under it, took it well. This time he jumped.
It's a simple way of not being tackled.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you, mate. I just think that I think the other time that he thought he may have been under a bit of pressure, but he decided just to stay down.
There's Matty Parsons, a shot of him. He was on his haunches a moment ago, really struggling. What a courageous effort from the Knights captain as they go down the short side. Rudder is tackled by Bell on the 40-metre line. Last tackle here for the Newcastle Knights. The kick from Badiris towards the corner. Robbie Ross just grabbed it in. Now Billy Slater is trying to link up with him. And Slater puts the foot down, finds Langy. Twin slip, Langy's up again. Billy Slater's still there. He's got too much pace for the defence. Here comes the cover of Hughes. Slater looks for Daniel, steps up. Hughes puts the foot down, goes for the goal line, and will score. What a try, Billy Slater, from one end of the field to the other. Go and think Robbie Ross, but hasn't this kid's got some pace? 28 knew what a kick to come.
That is unbelievable. That is a great rugby league try. I'll tell you what, Robbie Ross started it. Kidwell, the great pass to pick up Slater again, and then he got off his haunches and made the break. And then he just turned the fullback inside and out and then raced around about 15 to 20 minutes of the try line. Robbie Ross knows he's really dropped the ball. He's come right across the field. You see Quinn by the field there. So there's plenty of room for Slater to move. He drops it off to Kidwell. Bang, down he gets up. I mean, Junior Langy, I should say. Great ball away there. They're all about the pace of the man. Then he sees him coming across, steps off his left, straightens up and goes, hey, I can get there. I'm quicker than that. And away he goes. What a try.
Well, it's all because he backed up. It was because he passed the ball, then backed up. Then he had the pace. I thought referee Matt Checken was going to come across and tackle him. That was the only cover there. Andrew Price, one of the reserves, came on. He made an effort to get there, but you put a man one-on-one like Billy Slater on anybody in football, and he's going to come up a winner every time.
Great rugby league try, and they're on their feet at Olympic Park as they clap Billy Slater back to his position. 8 tries in the season, and they better get used to it. That was sensational.
Well, Mark Hughes is very, very quick, and I didn't even know how quick this kid is. He's like lightning.
You can't give a person like Slater much room. Normally, a fullback would have shown him the sideline and kept him between the sideline and the defensive player. But a guy like Billy Slater is so quick, he's going to change all that around, and that's just what he's did. He veered back in, caught Hughes flat-footed, and then took off. Hughes was no chance to catch him.
Orford from right in front. And howling breeze at his back. There's little trouble for Matty Orford. Adds a further 2 points. The scoreline becomes rather embarrassing for the Newcastle Knights. Melbourne 30, Newcastle 0. And there's still plenty of time remaining as we see this try again. Enjoy it.
I'm just letting the people enjoy it. Because I tell you what, I did enjoy it. It was tremendous to watch his footwork, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That ball back from Junior Langy. And then he just made Mark Hughes just stand still. I was enjoying that, Mark.
Very good, Gary. Here's the kickoff from Newcastle. It has the Melbourne Storm 20 out from their own line. Still 24 minutes of play remaining. 30 points to nil the score.
2 there. Release.
Look, the scoreline's not good for Newcastle, but I think that the coach Michael Hagan will be pretty proud of a lot of these young guys that are out there that are doing their best. Some of them for the first time, only some with 1 or 2 games up their belt. And like I said, under their belt, I should say. I think it gets a much superior and more.
Here's Kearney straight up the middle of the ruck. Robbie Ross on his left gets the ball. Here comes Orford. They're queuing up the score, and Orford gets 4. Stephen Kearney again up the middle of the ruck, and who was there? Robbie Ross, and then Orford on his return. 50th first-grade game for Melbourne, but he may have paid a price. That knee that he's got strapped that's kept him out for some time, he may have hurt it. 34-0. But this doesn't look good for the Melbourne Storm with Matt Orford limping.
Once again, Stephen Kearney, I was talking about the experience, great footwork. A couple of young kids, Johnson just come up with a missed tackle, drops the ball back inside. Orford comes flying through. Plenty of pressure here by the Newcastle side. You see, he just lands on that knee pretty bad. What about that work?
Well, this is where the foundation has come for this win. The forwards have been absolutely outstanding for the Melbourne Storm. Okay, so the backs have scored most of the points, but the forwards have laid the platform. They have been dominating in defence and attack, and that run by Kearney was just an example of what they've been doing all night. Quickest way to the try line, straight up the middle of the field, and that's the way the Storm forwards have been playing it.
Just landed awkwardly on Craig Hall. Craig Hall landed awkwardly on Orford there, but the good news is that Matty Orford is going to have the conversion attempt of his own try. 34 points to nil. Still some way to go for the Knights' biggest loss in the club's history. I'd like to bring that up for Newcastle supporters. It's still got some way to go. 64-14 last year against Cronulla. I'll never forget that one. It's been some time too since they've been held scoreless. July 6 against Parramatta at Parramatta Stadium, and Parramatta won 40-0. Good. As Orford kicks the goal and limps back to halfway. It's now 36 points to nil. As Michael Hagan in the box next to us looks on. He just hopes that the scoreline doesn't blow out and do some psychological damage to these young players. Orford gives the thumbs up. The interesting thing, 36-0. Newcastle last failed to score a try. Scoreless, I should say, against the last score a try 2001 against Parramatta, 40 points to nil. And that was 2001, and also in 2001 was the last time Melbourne held the team to nil, beating the West Tigers 64-0 at Colonial Stadium. Robbie Ross. Here they come again. It comes to Junior Lange. Slater's there looking for a hat-trick. The defence is there and wraps him up. Badiris tries to get him into touch. And Harry stayed in the field of play. His foot may have gone on the touchline, but you're allowed to put your foot on the touchline when you're regaining your feet to play the ball. So that is a rule that's not often known or used, but you are allowed to go into touch when you're regaining your feet to play the ball. That's maybe why the touch dad didn't put his flag up. If he did touch the line, get into his feet. 10 short of the goal line.
Wait, come on, another step.
Cameron Smith, Orford now, they're lining up. The ball goes to Kidwell, there's a try. Orford involved again. He scored the last one and gave the final pass again. It's becoming a bit embarrassing now for the Knights. 40 points to nil.
That all comes back from a pass by Junior Lange on this left-hand side. Got the ball back. There's 3 Newcastle players involved. And then they just got the big roll on. Broadwood was saying, the foot on the line, you'll see here, puts it down. How many times do they do it, Mark? Once or twice? It doesn't matter. On the right here, goes to Orford, goes to the line. You can see the Newcastle side there, Russell, really just holding back. They need to go forward, put some pressure on Orford. Otherwise, this is going to be the result every time he goes to the line.
Hit the nail on the head, Garrett. The defensive ploy by the Newcastle Knights. An indication just how they're tackling tonight. They've missed 24 tackles tonight compared with the Melbourne Storm 7th, and I think that in fact tells you the story about why the scoreline is as it is.
And every time they've gone that right hand side, Tamana Ta, who has been in the wrong position for defence. He's gone on the outside of the man to try and take the man, but the inside man's got the ball.
You look at the way they're playing, though. Isn't the Melbourne Storm playing with a great deal of confidence compared to the Knights?
It's a different side from last week, I can tell you that.
This time last week, they were standing behind their own goal line, getting thumped by the North Queensland Cowboys. Tonight it's 40-0, about to be 42 the way Orford's been kicking tonight, just across the faces that it is. 40 points to 0, the score remains. Matty Orford not happy, but it's 40 points to 0. And Newcastle, this is going to be a long 18 minutes for them as the bench looks on.
Well, that kick by Matt Orford, you've got to wonder how his knee is or how his ankle is when he hurt himself scoring a try. We see Rodney Howe, and that'll be a force when he comes back. But Matt Orford, you're leading 40 points to 0. He's your number one man. Geez, if he's got a bit of a problem, you take him off.
We haven't seen Glenn Turney yet tonight. We saw him on the bench, but we haven't seen him on the field. As Marcus takes it back, and the defence lines him up. Mitchell Sargent.
Make it Mike
I think
Marcus.
the concerning things for Newcastle, really. Missed tackles. They missed 24 tackles to Melbourne, 7. The total tackles out of Newcastle side of it to mark 226, and Melbourne only have to make 182.
40.
Good kick out of done out Cameron Smith. And what about the chase here by Billy Slater and Geyer?
Big from Stephen Kearney. He's almost driven him into touch as we see the missed tackles 24-7 in the line breaks. Melbourne 8, Newcastle just the 1. Melbourne 3rd in the NRL in line breaks. And this will do their stats no harm tonight. Parsons still battling away at the captain, leading from the front.
Hands off. Wait. 13, you're offside, 13.
Kidwell called out by the referee, and he's made the tackle then. There's the penalty.
Passive obstruction, you're offside, you're still affected play, mate.
Never like the newfangled words. Passive obstruction.
He's offside, wasn't he?
That's right, Gary.
He's offside, penalise him.
What can they do here, the Newcastle Knights? They have had plenty of possession down the opposition 20, but just haven't been able to convert it into points. They need something. Andrew Price. Penalty.
Flop, Matty. He was on the ground. Flop. There it is. Good.
Quick tap taken. Here's Rudder. Turning it inside to Newton, who had to juggle, so lost momentum as his focus was on regathering the football. Todd Bates looks like on the field. It is. Gadiris. Ball on the ground. Who wants it? Kearney may have got there. It's an off on anyway.
No ball control, mate. Come on.
And Parson looks on. Bowser's head. Another mistake there from the Newcastle Knights. Andrew Price, the man has come up with a mistake. Thompson might have the ball in his hand. This man here trying to throw the ball one-handed.
In there, where he is.
Not one of the best passes. Just putting too much pressure on each other, these young guys.
Let's go. Seconds, get in. Lock, get in. Lock, get in. Get in.
Marcus by. Tamana Tahu there with the tackle, but he offloads to Bell. He had nowhere to go, though. Still 15.5 minutes of play remaining, and Melbourne lead by 40 points to 0. Stephen Bell leaving the field. Dallas Johnson coming on. It's for Melbourne. Sargent to the 30. He's off it. Now Robinson had the arm free, thought about offloading to Johnson, took the tackle.
It's interesting to note completion rate at the start.
He's
Slater.
Slater coming back, Billy. Pass.
Why didn't he just let him go a little bit further, see if he could have beaten the fullback and Mark Hughes, and then as he was going to put the ball down, maybe win the back. That was close.
He's forward.
Great call, Steve.
I'm just saying it was close.
Come in, together. Lock, stay in. Out.
Rudder. Cross field. Finding Tamana Tahu. A little bit of space. Look back on the inside. Really there coming late was Hall. Solid defence there on Tanner. 3 Storm players in there. Badiris. Ball on the ground. Putting pressure on Gidley. Here's Quinn. Up to the 30.
This is the interesting part of what I was saying before, Mark, before Billy Slater nearly made a break, is that the Melbourne side certainly could have come out in the second half and started to throw the ball around. They haven't. They've done the hard stuff around the middle of the ruck. And out of 39 sets of 6, they've completed 33 of them. So they really stuck to the task, and Coach Craig Bellamy would be very, very happy.
Here's a chance back on the inside. Rudder, can he get there? He pops the ball back there over. The Newcastle Knights have scored a try, and it was a very good one also. That will make them feel better. 40 points to 4 with a kick to come.
Yeah, just won it. Just a couple of little missed tackles there on that right-hand side in defence for the Melbourne side. And once again, Newcastle, they've gone 2 passes wide. They've got people running into spaces, and that's what they needed to do. Out to Badiris, nice long ball. You see a few of the boys get a little bit tired. Rudder goes to the line beautifully, sucks in a couple of defenders, ball back inside the Rudder again. Plots it up to Thompson, and he'd be very happy. He's worked pretty hard here tonight.
Yeah, great piece of play here. It's the angle on this pass. Here it comes. He comes back in, Hughes. The support there is fantastic. The Newcastle Knights searching for some second half pride, and there's a dose of it right there.
First try of the career for Matthew Jobson. 40 points to 4. Looks so much better than 40 points to 0. Daniel Abraham. With the conversion attempt. Adds a further 2. 40 points to 6. The Melbourne Storm over the Newcastle Knights. Still with about 12 minutes of play remaining. As Cameron Smith brings it back to halfway. Taking his time as the clock counts down. I don't think Newcastle will be too disappointed.
I don't think both sides will be disappointed. The Melbourne side certainly know that they've got this wrapped up. Would have liked to put another 1 or maybe 2 tries on. Once again, the defence from Melbourne's been very, very strong, switching around the middle of that ruck.
Quinn.
Through there, release. Go, mate, go.
Here's Clint Newton. Tackle made by Danny Williams. Also in there, David Kidwell. Price towards the halfway line. There's the kick from Badiris. Straight there to Robbie Ross. Being held up in the breeze slightly. Better chase from the Newcastle Knights, and Billy Slater was too far away for him to get it past him. Marcus By out of acting half, always dangerous out of there, and a very hard man to tackle.
Good work, good, go.
Kidwell towards the halfway line. Dallas Johnson.
And 4.
Thought the ball came out, did it? It did.
Saw the ball lost, mate. Couldn't see. Had to rule on what I saw, okay?
With you, Hagen, you're thinking at the moment?
Look, I don't think he'd be that disappointed with them. Like, I know the scoreline certainly doesn't indicate
Seconds get in. No,
how hard
seconds.
an effort that the Newcastle boys have put in. I don't think Michael Hagen would be that disappointed missing 8 top-line players.
You're right, Wiz. If you want to go somewhere in this competition, you've got to have a bit of depth, and that's what Hagen has been allowed to do in this game, and probably some others maybe next week as well. He's been able to blood some of these younger players, which will be perfect for him when they get into the finals, and make no doubt about it, when Johns comes back, this is a different team, and they will be making a march to the playoffs.
South Sydney next week for Newcastle. As the Knights take it forward. With Clint Newton, they go left, quickly, back on the field, right up.
Last tackle, Marcus, square, no earlies. Hold, fellas, no earlies.
Tanner plays it on the last. Now Badiris. Long ball, picked up there by Quinn. Flicks it out the back over the head of Gidley. Somehow he kept it in the field of play, but Badiris has knocked it on.
And I think that may be an area where Michael Hagan may have a change of heart as the 9 and 7. I think that the Newcastle side would be better served with Badiris going into the number 9 jersey rather than staying at 7. I think that maybe to bring up one of the younger kids that are playing halfback for their junior sides to give him a shot, but Badiris back into hooker. Luke Quigley's done a good job, but I just think that he is more devastating and he organises more from around that ruck area.
2 there, release now. Come on, quick. Good.
Quick hands from Williams. Finding Cameron Smith backing under a tackle. Matty Orford on the bench at the moment for Melbourne. As we suggested earlier, get him out of there if his knees a little bit dodgy at the moment. First game back. They need him fit and firing the Melbourne Storm.
Last tackle, leg the other leg.
Last tackle for Melbourne. Ordinary pass by Williams, but well picked up by Cameron Smith. Hughes under it. Not a good chase from Melbourne. They finally get to the Novocastrian fullback.
No loitering in that play the ball area. 2. Release. Oh, good.
Just mention that fact about Daniel Badiris, mate. He has made 25 tackles from the halfback role, and he's done 8 hit-ups.
Here's Quigley offloading back there to Newton. Now Badiris over the 40 by about 5 metres. Looking for another try here, Newcastle. Abraham back on the inside. This is the last tackle. 7.5 to go. Badiris, a long ball. It's gone behind Turner. Tamana Tahu with a little kick. Where is it? Melbourne have come up with it. And they'll now launch an attacking raid. Marcus Byer. Melbourne crowd wanting a penalty. Guy had to reach for that. Now here's a chance. Where's Billy Slater gone? He's gone over the other side of the field to try and get the fullback, and Junior Laney has a bit of a go. That Guy was looking for him. Abby Ross has come left, so is Geyer. So is Sargent. Geyer quick hands to Robinson. Now they go back the other way to Junior Laney. Short ball, turns. Look for support. Tackle number 4. They've got the numbers out the right if they get it there quickly. It comes to Smith. He kicks. I don't think anyone was really expecting it because there's no chase on, and Hall is back there.
Hell, now. Let go of the leg. Stay there. Stay there.
I'm just hanging on just a fraction too long.
Given a ruling, you had hold of the leg, that's why I played it. I've marked you 10, you had a bit to say and you continued it. No more, okay? I know, I heard you the first time.
It's interesting the way that the referees have gone this year, Mark. As soon as a player goes to talk to them, they just virtually walk them 10 metres.
Towards the halfway line.
It is important for the Melbourne Storm to finish off just like they've started tonight. Important for their confidence.
And
important when they
now.
have their next away game because they've only won 1 away at this stage. Looks like they'll remain unbeaten at home. 3 starts, 3 wins. But for their confidence, they need to finish this game off.
Hands away. Wait.
Quigley finds Badiris. Dummy looking for runners. They said about that pass the better. And one of those nights for Newcastle.
And it certainly wasn't one of the greatest passes. Melbourne's just hoping that they can finish off just a fraction better. Just it's a long ball. Mark Hughes just puts his hands on his hips. He shan't be doing that again.
Cameron Smith, good tackle there. Williams inside the final 5 minutes. The Melbourne Storm
Legs went above the head. Legs went above the horizontal. Wait. There's the mark there.
Here it is. Luke Quigley, the man being penalised there. And giving Melbourne
Come on, fellas, keep
great
working.
field position and opportunity to finish the game off. And another try. Kearns. He's deserved one. Back to Reynoldsson.
One. Hands off, Matt.
Another
Now,
offload
Matt.
there for the Melbourne Storm. Cameron Smith. 5 out from the line. Parsons with the tackle. Danny Williams turns it back there to Slater. Now it comes to Robbie Ross. Here's the kick. The chase was on, and the chase is a good one. There's no way Medeiros could get the ball back into the field of play. They're playing very well tonight, Melbourne. And it's been a disappointing night for the Knights.
Tremendous little kick there by Geyer. Great work by Medeiros to back up. And Billy Slater comes up with a tremendous tackle. Helped by a couple of his teammates. And they do now get another set of 6. With only under 4 minutes to go in this game,
Stay
Mark,
behind.
I feel there's another try coming for the Melbourne side very shortly.
3 to go. Lovely old kick. And here they come again through Alice
One.
Johnson.
Hands off.
This is Glenn Turner on the field, making an impact. Back to Smith. Smith still going to score under the post. Well, Glenn Turner's only really just come on the field. That's his first touch, I'm sure. And he's set up a try for the Melbourne Storm. Cameron Smith joins the try scorers list. And it's 44 to 6.
You just see there the Newcastle side, their heads were down. Glenn Turner, beautiful step on his right foot, right arm offload at the same time. And just a few of the Newcastle side players getting very, very tired. Smith goes over to score, Melbourne try. You can see it coming. They were just hoping that the game would finish just a little bit quicker. As I said, he gets rid of some very, very easy tackles.
Cameron Smith, the try scorer, second try for the season and his career. And with Matty Orford off the field, they get the opportunity to kick a goal. He's already kicked 4 so far this year. 44 points to 6. They were dreadful last week against the Cowboys. They played a Newcastle side which is very much depleted, of course, but they've played with confidence. It's their first win in 7 against the Newcastle Knights. Newcastle winning 6 of the last 6 against Melbourne. And in those 5 of those last 6, Melbourne have conceded 36 points or more. Tonight, just the 6. As Cameron Smith has the opportunity to convert his own try, just like Matty Orford did earlier in the game. And he does so. Stephen Kearney claps, so too Peter Robinson. 46 points to 6 inside the final minute. It's a very pleasing night for the Melbourne Storm and their fans. He's seen himself on the big screen. He continues to dance. Newcastle Knights now losing 10 of their last 11 without Andrew Johns. As Abraham gets us back underway. 20 seconds remaining. Still going. Sargent links up there with Williams. Now Robbie Ross. They want another try. They want 50. Intercepted though by Abraham. That snuffs out that opportunity for the Melbourne Storm. Big turn of Danny Williams on Regan Turner. And there's the full-time siren in the background. Thankfully so the Newcastle Knights and the Storm celebrate. Stephen Kearney, the captain, has led them from the front. And they've won by 46 points to 6. the Melbourne Storm over the Newcastle Knights.